welcome back to my channel. This is Angela's Balanced Life. Today's video is going to be my first trimester update overview. If you missed the announcement, I did post that I am pregnant. I'm due in August, so when I'm filming this, I have the same shirt on as in that video. I'm literally filming it back to back. But when you're seeing it, or when I'm filming this, I'm 12 weeks, 5 days. I'm probably much further along at this point just because of the order in which I'm planning to upload some videos. But I wanted to do first trimester update, talk a little bit about how we found out, my symptoms. I want to talk a little bit about training and nutrition and how I'm kind of approaching that, and just kind of probably ramble a little bit. I'm going to try and keep this video organized and hopefully not too long. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna jump into it from there. I do have my phone, so I have notes on here that I've been taking, both for myself for this video, but also for like people have been asking me like, how have you been feeling? And I wanted to kind of talk about that with like my friends and then like doctors and stuff like that. So as I said, I'm due in August, and so we found out that I was pregnant on December 21st. It's kind of weird. I wasn't surprised, but I was not expecting it. My period had been late in November by like 5 days, and I was very confused. I had previously had an IUD for 7 years, and I had it removed in September, and was just kind of expecting my period to be irregular for a little bit. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be like right on track right away, but I did have regular periods like September, October after it was removed, and then November was late, and then December came along. So when I took the test only at 2 days late, I really didn't think that I was pregnant. The only reason I really took it was because it was the holidays, so it was like my first day of my break from work, and I just was like trying to be responsible because it was the holidays and there was going to be a lot of beverages around at our get-togethers, that I took the test and it came back positive. It was a line almost immediately. Like, I put it down and I looked at it and I could kind of see a line, but I walked away for the 2 minutes that it is, you're supposed to let it go, and came back and it was positive. So Jake was not home at the time, he was working, and so I was, like I said, I wasn't expecting it, but at the same time I wasn't surprised because we had been trying, like that was the plan. And so I had like maybe a minute where I was like kind of freaking out. I was, you see like people in like videos on YouTube and they're, they freak out, and I had that for about a minute, and then I was almost perfectly fine. So kind of different, kind of weird to talk about and like say out loud, but like I said, I wasn't really surprised. It just kind of was like, it was a little bit sooner than I think I was thinking it was gonna happen. I think the same for Jake. So I ended up telling him later that day when he got home, and that was how I found out. And it was right before Christmas, and so we decided we didn't want to tell anybody until I was much further along, at 12 weeks. And so we went to all these holiday parties, all New Year's, and just, I'm sitting in the corner like I have the biggest thing to tell everybody, but obviously I didn't. It was very, like, one of the first things I thought of was like, how am I going to get through the holidays without anybody noticing I'm not having a glass of wine, because I enjoy a glass of wine every now and again. But we got through that okay. It was totally fine. Nobody said anything. And once New Year's came and went, I pretty much just like bunkered down and I didn't leave the house because I wasn't telling anybody. I didn't really feel great. So I just like stayed at home and didn't do anything because I didn't want to tell anybody. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get into symptoms and kind of talk about how that happened, like after I found out on December 21st. I would say almost like the next day I had acne, which has been one of the bigger symptoms I've had, or more noticeable symptoms that I've had throughout the past 12 weeks. It was like I found out I was pregnant and like immediately acne just came on my like entire left side of my face. It really has not subsided at all. So that's been kind of a bummer because that's something that like people can see. Not that anyone has said anything, but things like morning sickness or like being exhausted, like that's not something people generally can see. But that was kind of like the first thing I noticed. And then I would say around 5 weeks, so a couple of days later, like I would say after Christmas, because I didn't have any symptoms until probably after Christmas, which was nice. So I got through the holidays. I did start having a little bit of nausea, or morning sickness, whatever you want to call it. It was very, very minor, which I'm really thankful for because I know some people can have some really bad morning sickness or nausea, and it lasts all day. I did not have that. I did have it for like a week or two, and I had ginger candies. I'll put a link to what I got, and what I would basically just suck on when I would feel a little bit of nausea, or if I felt like my stomach kind of was like, if it was like hungry or nausea, I couldn't really tell. So I had those. You can get them at Target. That's where I got mine. And I also was doing saltines and crackers and stuff like that. I had some dizziness for a week or two, which was weird. It'd be like I was walking through the house and I would feel a little dizzy or like kind of run into a wall. So I did notice that, and that went away. I was having headaches, but I think they were caffeine withdrawals, which, funny story, when I found out I was pregnant, it was early in the morning, and the night prior I had set up my coffee maker to brew automatically, and it was like the first time I used the automatic brew because it's fairly new and I just like hadn't used it, so I set it up the night before, and thankfully I woke up before that was set. And after I took the test, and I was like, well, I can't drink that much coffee because I knew when I became pregnant I would reduce my caffeine intake. I went and I just like ran the water through the coffee pot, and now I'm just using the single serve side of this really nice coffee maker I got for myself, essentially, because Jake doesn't drink coffee. I'm not even using it because I'm only drinking a cup a day, which coffee is an aversion. It's like the only one I've had, so coffee doesn't even taste the same. So I don't even enjoy drinking it right now. So I'm going to talk about food later, but yeah, I did reduce my caffeine intake. I think that that's pretty common, that most women do during pregnancy. I'm having 1 cup a day, and it's not even like a full caffeinated coffee. So the dizziness, morning sickness, for I would say the weeks 5 through 7, the nausea subsided pretty soon after. And then I had extreme exhaustion, which I don't think is a surprise to anybody. It was not a surprise to me. I basically, that was until about 8 weeks, and I was sleeping so much. I was sleeping from about 8 p.m. to like 6 a.m., which is not normal for me. I generally will sleep 9:30 to like 5:30, even like 10 to 5:30. Like I'm a morning person and I could not get out of bed in the morning. So that was really hard, just with like work, getting up and like having to drag myself like out of bed to get ready to go into work, and then like I was at my desk at work basically falling asleep. Like it was pretty rough. And then I would go to the gym afterwards, which I know sounds crazy, but I did keep consistent with my workouts for until I got a cold, which we'll get to. But that was through weeks like 9 to 10. I was consistent with my workouts. Like I really didn't miss any, but I could not work out in the morning anymore. That was not going to happen. So, and then I would nap as well when I could. So my weekends basically were wake up, do a workout, and then I would go to bed at about noon, sleep until sometimes 3 or 4, and then get up and like make dinner. We'd watch a movie, and I would go to bed at like 7:30. So that was the other reason I didn't really like hang out with anybody or see anybody in January, not only because I didn't want to tell them, but I was so exhausted. I couldn't. I mean, if we had plans in the evenings, I was taking naps so that I could like go out and like stay awake. It was not fun. But that got much better after 8 weeks. Like I went into the doctor at 8 weeks for the like ultrasound and confirmation of pregnancy and my first appointment. And I would say at like 9 weeks, I finally started to feel like myself again. And then at 10 weeks, I ended up getting a cold that really put me on my butt. I can't take anything really. You can, but I decided not to. There was one night I took Tylenol because my throat hurt so much from coughing that I couldn't sleep. Like I remember going to bed at like 7 o'clock because I was just like, I just need to sleep to get over this cold. And I woke up at like 11:30 maybe. I thought it was like 3 in the morning, and I was like, I'll just like deal with the pain and I'll get up in the morning and go to the store and get Tylenol because I didn't have any. I woke up and I said, Jake, we have to go to the drugstore because I need something, otherwise I'm never gonna be able to sleep. So we went to the store at like midnight, and once I had that Tylenol, I got through that night and things started to get better. But I had a cold for like a week, which is not normal for me. I generally will have a cold for like 3 or 4 days. And then I had a cough for about 2.5 weeks, and I still have like a little bit of a cough. And I know that you can produce more like I don't know, snot basically in like your nose during pregnancy. Like that was something that my friend had, I remember, and so that hasn't really stopped since I had the cold. So that's kind of a bummer, but it's fine. I'm feeling so much better. That was not fun at all. And my doctor basically said if you get a cold or anything during pregnancy, it basically takes twice as long for you to get over. So it makes sense that I had it for the full week plus extra days for like the cough. And that cough was not fun. I hated it because it just kind of bothers people in the office. Or at least it would bother me. So that was at 10 weeks. And then in terms of like other symptoms that I had, oh yeah, I was extremely, extremely cold, to the point where I was uncomfortable and almost, I don't want to say I was in pain, but it was not fun at all. Like I would take a shower in the evenings just to like warm up, and it would be turned on hot, like all the way, and I would be standing under the water and I would be cold, like I would be shivering. And so I mentioned that to my provider, and she said that that can be from the blood volume and how your body responds to the increase in blood volume. And some women get really, really hot, which I did have some night sweats in the beginning, but those have gone away, and I assume that it had to do with that. But she said some people get really cold, and I got very cold. It was awful. I don't know that I've ever felt that cold before. And I live in Minnesota, so like me going outside in like -10, it was not even like that. It was not even the same type of cold. So that got better. That ended at like week 10. So like when I got my cold was about when I actually started to feel better. Like a lot of the symptoms went away, and then I got a cold and I had like a cold for like a week. So yeah, so really happy that's done. I'm still kind of cold. Like I would say I'm running colder than normal, which is weird because I generally run very warm. So the other like symptom that I have noted here, it's a little bit of an overshare, but I was pretty irregular, which is not normal for me. I'm pretty regular. And so I talked to my doctor about that at my 12-week appointment. She said to take a fiber supplement. I do not need fiber. I know I get enough fiber because I've tracked my food for years. So I know that I get enough fiber. So I did start taking a probiotic instead the other day, and I don't know if it's just because I'm at 12 weeks, maybe it's getting better, or if it was the probiotic, but I've been feeling a lot better, which is good because it was uncomfortable. It was not fun, and like I said, that's not normal for me, so experiencing that has just not been fun. Okay, let's talk about food and my training for just a second. I obviously am not a doctor, not a professional. I don't have any credentials that allow me to give any advice, so please just like, this is just me sharing my personal experience and what my provider has told me that I am cleared to do and cleared to eat and stuff like that. But I do want to touch on it because I think my training situation's a little bit different, or I say training because I don't know, this is what my workout situation is a little bit different than the majority of pregnancies out there. I'm just gonna like say it and put it out there. But in terms of foods and cravings, I pretty much, like I already told you, the coffee was the only aversion I had. I literally woke up one day at like 7 weeks and I couldn't drink coffee. So that stinks because I love coffee. I genuinely enjoy it. So the fact that it doesn't taste right is kind of a bummer, but it kind of works out because I reduced my intake anyways. Foods, I would say I just have a heightened taste to everything. So things that I loved before are just like so much better now. So like I have noted here blueberries, peanut butter, are like the two that I have. And like oatmeal, I love oatmeal. That is one of my favorite foods. And I would say like it's just so much better. And I put blueberries and peanut butter in my oatmeal, so it's really like pretty awesome. In terms of cravings, and these are things that are not normal in my diet that I just have been having cravings for, but they are things that I enjoy. They're things that I enjoyed prior to pregnancy, but they're things that I just feel like my body is now craving. It's really weird. Cereal, I had a real craving for cereal, and just carbs in general, which again, not normal for me at all. So I did get these crispy oats from Aldi. They're organic and they have very little added sugar, which is what I wanted. So I was looking up the types of cereals I could get that had low sugar. So I've been enjoying those, and I put like a little protein powder on them to sweeten them up with strawberries. So that's been working to cure that craving. I put down sweets in general, chocolate, which I don't really love chocolate. I never have, but chocolate is great, and I do like crave it. And I went out a few times and like bought chocolate because I really wanted it. I had a craving for toast last week, and what left work to like come home. Like I went to the gym, I had to stop at the store and buy bread to make toast because I was craving it. Cheese and crackers, cheese and peanut butter, that's not a thing. Peanut butter and crackers, which I loved saltine and peanut butter. Like back in the day, saltine crackers with peanut butter, that was like my snack, and I quit eating that because it's really not healthy. But since I've had saltines around, I've been putting peanut butter on them, and it's just so good. It's so good. I love it. And then again, cheese and crackers, so good. So I've been enjoying that. And then in terms of a craving that I've had that I haven't given into because I'm trying to be good, Pop-Tarts. I had the strangest craving for Pop-Tarts at work the other day. I texted Jake and I said, I want Pop-Tarts and chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream right now. So I've been looking up recipes to make my own Pop-Tarts, so I think I'm going to try that. But it's kind of gone away. The craving's gone away, but it was like for a couple of days, it was pretty strong. And I'm like on Pinterest a lot now looking at food because like I just have a craving for food in general. Like I just like love food. I'm a champ eater right now. It's kind of crazy, which I was a good eater before. Like I love food, but now it's like on another level. So, and then let's talk about workouts and training briefly. So with one of the first things I asked after I found out I was pregnant when I called to make my appointment was about workouts and training because that's very important to me. I've been a weightlifter for several years, 8 years. It's been a long time. So, and I've gone through many phases, and I've been doing my training that I have now for probably 2 or 3 years pretty consistently. So I do a mix of powerlifting, bodybuilding, and then I do cardio here and there. And then I jump rope as well. So basically my provider told me that if I was doing it prior to pregnancy, I can continue doing it now. And then she said, you will know when your body needs to make changes. And so that was really relieving to hear, because I do think that sometimes people think you're not supposed to lift or work out or really do anything strenuous. And my body is very used to doing this. So I really, at the beginning, didn't make any modifications to my training at all. I have since, just because I'm starting to notice a little bit of changes. I do have noted here workouts doing most of the same exercises, including deadlifts and jump roping, lowered weight by 25%. So I would say I lowered my weight by 25% on deadlifts and squats specifically. Everything else I'm lifting the exact same weight. My straight leg deadlifts or remaining deadlifts, I maybe lowered those as well, but I would put that in the same category as deadlift. So I'm still deadlifting quite a lot of weight for my size, but compared to like what my max and working weight was prior to pregnancy, it is lower. And I'm listening to my body. I'm not doing it nearly as many sets and reps as I was. I have lowered that. So my squats have gone down quite a bit because I'm starting to notice a shift in my hips and the weight distribution. So we did squats this past week and I lowered it quite a bit. And I'm hesitant to share the amount that I'm lifting because it is higher, and I don't know if I want to talk about it in this video specifically. Maybe in another video if people are interested in hearing about it, just because, like I said, it's kind of a different perspective than I think a lot of women generally have with regards to like workouts during pregnancy. Because I see women working out at the gym, but they do not work out the way that I am. So, and I'm not saying that because I'm like better or whatever. Like, it's not that. This is just like what I do and what I enjoy. So cardio is not fun. I definitely feel like the breath, there's definitely like not like shortness of breath, that's not the right way to put it, but like I'm breathing deeper, and you know, my provider basically said you need to be able to hold a conversation while you are doing cardio. So I am still jump roping, which I think sounds kind of like it could be weird, sketchy, and then if I were showing, which I don't think I'll do a bump update. I don't really have a bump, so but if I were showing, I think that people at the gym would probably be like, she shouldn't be doing that. But my doctor said it was totally fine, so I am still doing it. I'm sure I will stop jump roping here in the next couple of weeks because I don't want to draw attention to myself at the gym, and I'm guessing it will become uncomfortable if you have a weight in front of you like pulling you forward. Jump roping is probably not going to be easy anymore. Not that it's easy, but it's not going to be the same. So my training is still consistent. When I was sick, I didn't go to the gym. I didn't go to the gym for like a week, which I almost never do. But besides that, I'm still lifting 4 days per week. Cardio probably once per week. I lowered it. And just trying to keep in mind and shift my mindset from my previous mindset, which was training for like a physique and aesthetic and like that type of goal, to training for my health and my well-being and my baby, which is that has probably been the hardest shift for me. And same with food, like tracking food, which I think I'm going to talk about in another video because I don't want to get into it. But training for health and the baby and me, and just like being careful and not pushing myself. Like, I'm starting to just end my workouts when I've done everything and I feel like I've accomplished a good workout, versus before when I would push myself, you know, to like hit a move goal, like, and burn a certain amount of calories. So I'm trying to pull back on that. It's probably going to be the most challenging part for me personally, because I know that that's something that's just about me and I have to think more holistically. So I will keep you guys updated on that and how that goes and my training, and I will be checking in with my doctor every single time I go in and talk about my training and like what I'm experiencing, because I think that that's important. I want her to know and I want her to feel comfortable, you know, with what I'm doing. I want to know that she feels comfortable knowing what I'm doing. So I think that's it. I think I'm kind of gonna wrap it up here. I have so many things I want to talk about, and if you have specific questions for me or specific videos you'd like me to talk about with regards to pregnancy, I would love to do them. I don't know what people want to hear. There's so many pregnancy videos out there, and like what people experience, and I've been watching so many, so I feel like there's like an overwhelming amount, so I don't know what people want to see. But I'm happy to talk about my training and nutrition. I will probably do at some point like a body image type video and talk about that because that's been on my mind a lot lately. And I will be doing updates, but I do want to kind of like keep my channel to be, you know, full circle. Like, I don't want it to become like only pregnancy or like mom related videos, which sounds so weird to say. I do still want to incorporate beauty and thrifting and lifestyle stuff, so I will be posting the pregnancy updates kind of intermittently. So please let me know if you have questions or want to know anything about me or my pregnancy and how things are going. Thank you so much for watching. I would love it if you subscribed, stuck around, and I will see you guys in a future video. Thanks. Bye.